I like it. I think most TMPers like it. I'm integrating military models into a lot of my tabletop reviews. Kind of fun. Don't know why I went there, but it's fun and it's my background. Retired Lieutenant Colonel, U.S. Air Force, 21 years, you know that. I wish I would have flown this plane. A-10 Thunderbolt 2, dude. That's where I should have been. None were available when I graduated undergraduate pilot training. Well, there was one fighter pilot slot, and I didn't get it. Yeah, I didn't get it. It was a banked slot. Super cool model. 1/72nd scale. Pre-built. Plastic, not metal, this one. It's an easy model. Link below. Buy it and display with pride. The Warthog. What a great plane. He's quivering with excitement for this tabletop review. Nice. Instead, I had the privilege of flying the KC-135. I love that plane. I just didn't get to blow stuff up directly. Boom, there's my squadron scarf from the 906. Actually, no, that's a 97th ARS. 906 was in Minot. This was my Spokane squadron flying the KC-135s. My kids finally said, why don't you ever throw your military memorabilia on the table? I was like, I don't know. I hadn't thought about it. I'm doing it now, though, dudes. Here we go. That and the A-10. We got a really cool knife review to do, and I love this knife. I really do. Now, I don't give a pass for any company, and this is a CRKT/Ruger collaboration. And what I mean by that is maybe I love a company, maybe I don't. Everyone just gets a fresh sheet of paper when I do a tabletop. And so some of the collaborations between CRKT and Ruger are kind of ridiculous. Powder keg. The muzzle brake was great. That's a great fixed blade knife. That's a real deal survival knife from what I know. Stay tuned. You're going to see me tune that thing up in the wilderness. The muzzle brake's a great blade. But you don't get a pass just because one is. It's kind of like an artist. Just because an artist, a musician I'm talking, has a great song, it doesn't mean, oh, everything that guy does or that lady does is awesome. Nope. But fortunately, I'm happy to report that this blade right here, got to back you up, Warthog, sorry, bro, is phenomenal. Really, really excellent. The Ruger LCK is what it's called, by CRKT. Yeah, it has a Ruger name slapped in there gratuitously. Here's the package. It's a matte lurch design, as you can see. I really, really like this blade, man. It is sick. They're saying it's a counterpart to the LCP 380. Okay, I think that's a stretch. They're just trying to make it more interesting. I don't think it's a counterpart to anything. It's its own creature. It does, however, remind me of some other blades. And I have a Benchmade on the table, and I forget the name of this. I'm not even going to hazard a guess, but it's 737 out of 1,000. And I don't have my readers on, so I can't read the number, but it's this knife right here. Boop! Previously reviewed. Great blade, so great. In fact, I really am never going to sell that knife, mainly for what I'm using it for now. It's a good competitive option, something to look at. But it's an elongated gentleman's profile, right? Here we go again. We see the same blade shape emerging time and time again in knives. And it's kind of been a trend in the knife reviews I've been doing of late that we just see this over and over. I just reviewed the Outdoor Edge Chasm. And that had a blade shape almost identical, albeit in smaller, of course, that as a Spyderco Navaja. Yeah, so there you go. So same blade shape. This is a great knife, by the way. Really cool knife. It didn't last very long, though. Didn't last very long. I'll put the name on the screen so I forget all the blades. But here we go. This is an elegant, elegant knife. Great EDC blade. And it kind of achieves something I really like in EDC blades, and that is a more narrow profile. I've said multiple times, like the Spyderco Tenacious, which is a great competitive option, it really is, I'm sorry, Warthog, I gotta back you up, otherwise I'm gonna snap off your GAU 8. Can't do that. It really is a different creature than like the Tenacious here. There's a Tenacious in blue. Look at the difference in forms of the blades. Very broad leaf shape. A lot of cutting power, a lot of shearing power. This is more elegant, more narrow. You can do more detail work with this one. It has a finer tip. You can dig out splinters and stuff with this a lot more easily than you can a Tenacious. And yet, it's ready to do real cutting. And the philosophy of use for this obviously sits squarely in the EDC realm. That's it. On the Ruger, I should say CRKT LCK. In fact, I did cardboard cutting tests with this, and if I remember, it did pretty good. You'll see the footage here. Stabbing tests with it too. Speaking of its stabbing capabilities, penetration capabilities, that's why the blade shows some wear. The steel is, guess what? That is correct. 8CR13 MOV. It's a Chinese produced blade. A lot of CRKTs are. Heck, a lot of everybody's are. Everyone's using Chinese production because, here you go, it's so good and so cost effective. So their margins are enough where they can make money on the blade, still provide the customer outstanding value like this knife, and everyone's happy. US production sometimes does not achieve that. 8CR takes a very nice edge. It's easy to sharpen, adequate rust resistance. That's super cool, man. Lurch design blade. I just love the blade design. I just wish it had jimping on top. There you go again with jimping. Why does everything have to be jimped? I read one comment. The dude was like going off, going, "Oh, nothing fancy. You're making all the manufacturers put jimping on their blades, and I'm getting sick of it. Not every knife has to be jimped." Well, I appreciate the sentiment, dude, but I do not have that level of pull anywhere. Just because I want jimping doesn't mean the manufacturers go, "Oh, nothing fancy wants jimping. Let's put it on." No, that doesn't happen. No. So it ain't on this one, dude. This should make you happy. But yeah, I generally like jimping on most designs, not all of them for sure. Ruger CRKT LCK, 3.3 inches of blade penetration power there. And let's check out the edge now after all the cardboard testing. Oh, I like that. That's a good edge. We got to test it though a little bit. I expect it ripping. Maybe not. Oh, this is after cardboard testing, dudes. I did not touch it up. I did not sharpen it. Wow, that is good. Hollow ground, low drag. Man, that's really impressive. Dang, dude. It's rare. I'm not even trying to exaggerate or go with hyperbole. It's rare that I see this on any knife that I test. If it's done cardboard testing, I don't care what steel it is, there's generally going to be some edge diminishment, let's say. That has done as good as any knife I brought to table after my cardboard testing. Well done, LCK. Whew. Man, I just sold probably 50 right there. And you should buy it. I love this knife, man. Let's look at the speed and lockup. It is a flipper liner lock. No problems at all on the flipper design. Some serrations there. I mean, I've brought like really expensive flippers to the table and there's always a problem. Not always, but frequently. Like there's a sharp transition here. I've said it a lot and we don't see it at all on the LCK. Doesn't come out wicked fast in my technique. Like right there. I've got to give it some wrist because it is a long blade too though. I mean, for its size, it's a long blade. I find I have to give it some wrist. As in most things, if you know what I mean. Let's see if it shakes out. I always have to do this off camera, otherwise I knock Warthog over or something. Yeah, it shakes out really nice. Lockup. There's your timing. 420J stainless steel liners. Non-skeletonized, unfortunately. That is a miss. And the weight is, heck, I didn't write it down, so we got to weigh it on camera. Rooting around, finding the scale. Here it is right here. It feels heavier than it is. 2.8. 3 actually. 2.5? Wow, that's lighter than I thought. So another reason to love the CRKT LCK. Here's the deal too, dudes, is this knife probably won't last very long. They'll discontinue it, especially since it's a collaboration, and they probably put a unit order in on it. So Ruger CRKT came up with an agreement, say we're going to produce this many. I don't think it's a catalog knife. I think it's a one-off. So they're going to produce this many, so you need to grab it now. If you like the Ruger LCK, grab it, enjoy it, otherwise it may go bye-bye. There's a backspacer here. I think it's just made of nylon. And that takes us to the clip. Right side orientation, thankfully tip up, and that is a good clip, dudes. Deep carry, it's formed almost perfectly. No Wizard of Oz issues. Man, that's a good clip. FRN handles, nothing special there. It's a value knife, but these molded in grooves are grasping stripes. give you some traction. They do. Better than a lot of others. Single-sided pivot screw to adjust. I am liking those more and more though, because if you have a double-sided, it's just harder to adjust. Hopefully it won't come out of adjustment for you. There's your stop pin right there. Really a nice knife. It really is a great knife. The only thing that I would like to see is, of course, jimping. That ain't going to happen. The run's already complete. But colorations. You know, I would like to see it in a blue, for instance. This is a Kaiser Begleiter Vanguard. I have to remember all these names. But a blue like this would be sick. We like the blues. We like the oranges. We like the rose colors. Black is okay too, though. Great knife. Competitive options. Coming up for review sometime sooner or later is CRKT Mini Salute. This knife right here. It is very excellent. Also having performed the cardboard cutting tests. Wait for that review. I'll talk about it. This is a heavier knife though. This is 3.8 ounces. So it's over an ounce heavier, which is a lot in the realm of EDC carry blades. Great loop over carry clip though. And it looks very SOG-ish, doesn't it? Like a lot of their other offerings. And this is 8CR13 MOV as well, I believe it is. So Chinese produced for SOG. But it's a competitive option. And there's a size comparison for you. Pretty similar. Another SOG product, the Mini Aegis. I've been showing that. But this is a much more expensive knife. This is super affordable. Anytime you go to their AUS8, Cryode, whether it's US production, sometimes not, it's going to be expensive, dude. Just prepare. Just prepare. How about the Rat 2? Still an excellent choice always. Wearing my edge right there. AUS8 steel blade, Chinese production. The clip is okay. I mean, you have this much protruding. I love the brown coloration. Oh, speak of the devil. Coloration's right there, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Love that knife. All day long. The Inland EL06 is this? I'm trying to remember. I'm looking on my blade. Yeah. EL06. You can cut out the middleman and just get it direct. It's also Chinese produced, but man, is it a great blade. Has Sebenza-like lines, really strong, superb knife, G10, much heavier, different knife than this. So this is more of a tactical knife, EDC knife, kind of a blend, EDC knife. It's a competitive option. Oh, by the way, there's my edge again. Ooh, yes. And then I'm going to end with this one. Another SOG product, oddly enough, the Flash 1. I showed you that how in another review actually how it looked the same. I think it was the I forget which review. They all blend. Watch them all and you'll see what I mean. Great knife. You should all have a SOG Flash 1 in your collection. It weighs 1.2 ounces. Oh my gosh. That's like nothing. 2.4 though for this one. Ruger LCK does have that slender blade profile I prefer in my EDC blades. Has a great satin finish on it. Nice edge. I've demonstrated that. It passed cardboard cutting test very well. Smooth flipper design. Not with ultimate speed because of the length of the blade, but it will come out, locks up nicely. Perfect carry clip. Should I say it? Yeah, I'll say it. On camera, it's 5 stars. Given the price, the Ruger CRKT LCK is a no-brainer buy. No-brainer buy. 5 stars, net and fancy.